Alright guys, I am back with my review of Breaking Bad Season 1. And if you have never watched this show, go out of your way to watch this. I've seen a lot of television shows in my time, and this is one of those special shows that just sucks you in right away. Kind of like Lost or Rescue Me. Those are a couple of my favorites that you really get involved with the characters. The acting is great. You have Walter White, Jesse, Skyler, Walter Jr., Hank. All the characters just own their roles. And when I first started watching this, I'm a big fan of Malcolm in the Middle. So I kind of thought, it's going to be a little weird seeing Hal play this like drug dealer. But he immediately makes you forget that he was ever Hal. Like immediately, he just becomes Walter White. So he did a fantastic job with that. But the show, it's a drama show, but it has some comedy elements here and there, some action stuff, and it just has something for everyone, I think. It's just great storytelling. Watching this show, you immediately know that they have some great writers. And from everything I've heard, that continues throughout the series. Unlike Dexter, which started off strong, and after season 4 just fucking dropped off. Because of the writers leaving and everything. So I am glad that I don't have to watch that happen to Breaking Bad, because this show is so damn good. It's on Netflix. I think seasons 1 through 4, and then season 5 part 1 is on Netflix. So if you have that, you can watch it, but it is addictive. Once you start watching it, you're going to want to watch like every episode. It'll be late, and I'll be finishing an episode, and then it'll just end on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch the next one. And that just continues to happen to me. So anyways, definitely check the show out. Now, here's a few spoilers for Season 1. So there will be spoilers in this part of the video, but I'm sure everybody knows that the show is about this guy who's a chemistry teacher, and his life sucks, really. He's got a shitty job at the car wash. He doesn't get any respect. He doesn't get any respect at school. He just turned 50, and then he finds out he has lung cancer. So it's a pretty crappy life for Walter White. And he knows he doesn't have much time, but he sees this like police raid of a crystal meth lab and all this money they brought in. And he starts to think about it, and then things just kind of work out. Like, he's on a ride along with Hank to bust a meth dealer, and he sees a former student, Jesse, and he follows Jesse, and he knows Jesse's a meth dealer, so he kind of forms a partnership with him. And it all just kind of worked out. So now he's cooking meth in order to raise money for his family so that when he does die, they're not stuck with all this debt and the hospital bills and everything, and they can pay the mortgage while he's gone. So he's doing this for a noble reason. And the show is so good at just changing Walter's character. And what I mean by that is immediately after starting this, immediately after cooking meth, before anything even happens, before they can even sell it, Walter is forced to kill another human being, the Crazy Eights guy. So he already has to kill someone before they can even take off with selling this crap. And what I like about that is it shows Walter what it's going to take to exist in this world. How he's going to have to be cold and heartless and just ruthless to be somebody and make money doing this. But after he kills the Crazy Eights guy, he sees that, he kind of shies away from the meth. And then this guy he used to work with, Elliot, who's become this like billionaire, he offers to pay for Walter's treatment. And at first Walter doesn't even want the treatment. He's willing to just say no to chemo and just die, and that way his family's not left with the bills. But once this Elliot guy offers to pay it, his family really wants him to get the treatment, undergo chemo and all of that. So he's like, okay, I'll do it, but he doesn't want to accept Elliot's money. So what does he do? He goes back to cooking meth with Jesse. Now, at this point, he doesn't need to do this. At first, you could say, okay, he has a noble reason. His family's going to be stuck with all his debt. But now, he's doing it out of pride. And it's really selfish. You can't just go do something illegal just because you have lung cancer. So that's where the character begins to change, in my opinion, is when he chooses to cook meth instead of taking Elliot's money. At this point, he is choosing to do something very illegal. And another thing about the character you see in season 1 is Walter is starting to like it. This mild-mannered, just very respectful guy, high school teacher and everything, he's starting to like this lifestyle. Maybe not the violence or the killing part so much, but the thrill, the rush of doing something illegal. And like the title of the show, he's breaking bad at the age of 50. So that's what's going on here. And I think what's going to happen eventually is he's going to start to like the killing part too, which is going to be very dangerous and make him dangerous. But there's all types of stuff going on in the show right now. I have a feeling Skyler's going to cheat on him because he's getting more and more distant. He's kind of always gone on the weekends, or he has to go somewhere. He's always gone at night. She doesn't know where he's going. So I have a feeling she's going to cheat on him or something like that. The Jesse character I really like. At first he's kind of a little annoying, but eventually he does become more likable throughout season 1. A couple things I almost forgot. Skyler is also pregnant. So that's another reason why Walter feels that it's so important that he raises this money, because his wife's going to give birth and he may not be around to see the birth of his daughter because he is so sick. And another thing in season 1, the only thing I could say I didn't care for, and this is really just a nitpick, it wasn't that big of a deal, the scenes with Jesse and his parents I thought dragged on a little too much. They were good and they added to his character and everything, but some of those scenes I was just like, okay, not this again. Too much. But like I said, that's just a nitpick. Season 1 is amazing. I can't say that enough. So let me see if I am leaving anything out here. Eventually, Walter realizes, hey, we're not making enough money. He's got bills that are piling up, and Jesse going out and selling this to like his buddies isn't bringing in enough money. So they got to find a distributor. And they find this guy, Tuco, who is just this hardcore gangster guy. He's got a whole setup where you have to walk past security to even see him. And Walter tells Jesse, go see this guy. We're going to start selling in bulk. And Jesse's like, I don't know, this guy's hardcore, but he does it. And he basically gets robbed. Tuco steals the meth from Jesse, doesn't pay him, and kicks his ass. Beats him up so bad he puts him in the hospital. So Walter finds out about this, and he decides he's going to go see Tuco. And this is right after chemo. He's been undergoing chemotherapy, so he's losing his hair. He shaves his head, and he goes up there. And this scene was so badass. Basically, he tells Tuco he's going to get the meth back. Or not the meth, but he's going to get the money. And not only does he want the money back, but he wants more money. So Tuco's just laughing in his face. And Walter pulls out this chemical rock thing. It's like mercury fulminate, I think he said. And he throws it, and the building like explodes. And so everybody's all startled and disoriented. And Tuco's like, you got balls. So he gives him the money, and he says he wants some more of his meth. So they basically work out an agreement here, and Walter leaves. But this was just such an awesome scene here. And the last thing in season 1 is Jesse and Walter meeting with Tuco at some junkyard. And they make a trade, more meth for the money. And then one of Tuco's henchmen says something smart-ass like, don't forget who you're working for. And Tuco says, you don't talk for me. So he beats the guy. and just beats the shit out of him. And Walter and Jesse are just in disbelief. So once again, this is another scene where it shows Walter what it's going to take to exist here. You're going to have to deal with people like Tuco, and you're going to have to be a little crazy yourself. I mean, just to get respect, you had to blow up the guy's fucking building. So that was the end of Season 1, but I'll be back with my review of Season 2 and 3 shortly. The show is awesome. Check it out. I can't recommend it enough. And let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything else I wanted to mention here. No, that's about it. So that's my review of Breaking Bad Season 1. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on the season in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye. This, like, drug dealer. But he immediately makes you forget that he was ever Hal. Like, immediately, he just becomes Walter White. So he did a fantastic job with that. But the show, it's a drama show, but it has some comedy elements here and there, some action stuff, and it just has something for everyone, I think. It's just great storytelling. Watching this show, you immediately know that they have some great writers. And from everything I've heard, that continues throughout the series. Unlike Dexter, which started off strong, and after Season 4 just fucking dropped off because of the writers leaving and everything. So I am glad that I don't have to watch that happen to Breaking Bad, because this show is so damn good. It's on Netflix. I think Seasons 1 through 4, and then Season 5 Part 1 is on Netflix. So if you have that, you can watch it, but it is addictive. Once you start watching it, you're going to want to watch like every episode. It'll be late, and I'll be finishing my favorites that you really get involved with the characters. The acting is great. You have Walter White, Jesse, Skyler, Walter Jr., Hank. All the characters just own their roles. And when I first started watching this, I'm a big fan of Malcolm in the Middle. So I kind of thought, you know, it's going to be a little weird seeing Hal play the... Alright guys, I am back with my review of Breaking Bad Season 1. And if you have never watched this show, go out of your way to watch this. I've seen a lot of television shows in my time, and this is one of those special shows that just sucks you in right away. Kind of like Lost or Rescue Me. Those are a couple